least my back's not acting up today.
Real battle? I'll prove my worth.
Lots to do, and precious little time.
Well met, sir.
This isn't what I want.
Your Majesty, your timing is impeccable. I just thought to call for you. 'Tis not a matter for prying ears. Pray, let us speak out here.
Well met, sir. Fancy a gander? Fine wares.
To be frank, I don't like this at all.
What should I get up to today?
Welcome.
Fight well now, else there is no tomorrow!
I shan't get up to today.
Well met, sir. Fancy a gander? Fine wares.
You feeling generous, sir? Want to lend a hand?
As I informed you when last we spoke, the palace is filled with the Queen Regent's sycophants. Should Disa denounce your Majesty as a false arisen, few would elect to doubt her. Yet if we are to prove your identity, I believe there is no occasion more suitable than the coronation. It was delayed so that the sovereign, that is, the false arisen, could convalesce in the palace, but the date has now been set. The central players in the court ought all be in attendance. 'Twould be a fine opportunity to display your Majesty's power. None would be able to deny that you are the true arisen then. There is a problem, however. Entry to such an event is limited to the chosen few. Only select members of the nobility and citizens who have contributed greatly to Vermont's continued prosperity will be granted entry. If your Majesty is to be counted among them, you will need to attend to a number of tasks. Pray, allow me to summarize them for you. The citizenry have called upon my soldiers to cull monsters that plague the land. I dare say, 'twould be a fine contribution were you to accomplish these tasks unaided. What say you? Might I ask for your cooperation in this matter? I thank you, Your Majesty. There are 3 locales that have seen significant trouble of late. The first is Trevo Mine, to the northwest. We've had reports of goblins swarming in great numbers. Next is Half Village, west of Vernworth. I believe soldiers have already been dispatched to cull an infestation of saurians there. Finally, there is a call for someone to locate a group of soldiers tasked with delivering freight. They were last seen crossing the second bridge on the eastern edge of Vermont.
There is no shortage of beasts.
There is much we ought to tend to if we are to strengthen your Majesty's claim as the true arisen. You will need to infiltrate the palace to gather evidence of Disa's misdeeds. I hesitate to ask something so dangerous of you, yet I fear we have few other options. I have attempted to do the same through my own channels afore now, though I have yet to uncover so much as a whisper of her plots. Would that I could undertake the task myself, but my station prohibits me from reckless action. What say you, Your Majesty? Might I ask this task of you? I shall ensure that the door to the Queen Regent's office is open between midnight and dawn. Pray use that time to conduct your investigation. There is much we ought to tend to if we are to strengthen your Majesty's claim as of all those who serve the Queen Regent. There is but one who I have no doubt will lend his support to your Majesty's cause. I refer to Waldar, a magistrate. Many a time has Disa demanded Waldar amend the code of Vermont to her own benefit, and many a time has the magistrate refused her, for he is loyal to none but the spirit of the law. As a result, he now sits in a cell beneath the palace. Our laws dictate that your Majesty is our rightful ruler. Thus, as the staunchest supporter of the law known to the palace, I'm quite confident that Waldor will be willing to vouch for your Majesty. What say you? Might you be willing to aid me in arranging the magistrate's release? I've prepared a means for you to enter the palace dungeons. Pray, take this. This mission demands the utmost secrecy. Prithee be cautious, Your Majesty. Should you be discovered, I will be unable to lend aught in the way of aid.
Whatever could you want from me?
Welcome to the Star Drop Inn. We serve all manner of fine ales here. Shall I pour you a cup to start you off? Sit back, relax, and enjoy the finest brews in all of Vernworth.
This isn't much to go on.
To each their own.
Welcome.
As they say.
How are we to fight with such worn-out gear?
Crowns and politics are no concern of mine. I've got the sharpest ears in town.
I get along with
Welcome.
Come rain or shine, I'll make the rest of it.
The allure of a tidy store is oft underestimated. Be ready to give us you.
Welcome.
Fun to write in one day.
I hope I've not left aught undone.
If I could, I'd never leave.
Plenty of gossip to hear.
I worked
Wonder how
hard
much
today.
I'll sell today.
I think I've earned the rest.
Well met, sir.
Lots to do,
Eyes on
and
what they
precious
used
little time.
Would that I could spend all day here.
Not sure why I patrol it.
Weary at this hour, sir? You must have quite a tale to tell. Much obliged. I fear I've no wisdom to offer. I find that it's well met, sir.
I've not left aught undone.
Weary at this hour, sir? You must have quite a tale to tell. Marvelous. Peruse at your leisure. Weary at this hour, sir? You must have quite a tale to tell. You know where to find me.
I'll go and open the chest.
Well met, son. How might I be of service? Welcome to Bjorn, and quality is what you need if you want to sub. Five. So. Before you check the price, just remember. Many thanks. I appreciate the business.
Not buying? That's just as well. Better to be selective than wasteful. The Arisen is ever prudent in the application of coin.
I'll see how far my talents can take me.
Swapping stories is one of life's great pleasures.
Peruse at your leisure. I find any turncoats. Weary at this hour, sir? You must have quite a tale to...
A good sleep will ensure we are prepared for the morrow.
This ladder looks sturdy enough to climb.
We ought to put it to good use.
Well met, sir.
Captain will have my head if I skip another patrol.
Always sets me to think this place.
There's got to be something fun to do.
Be a lonely life, officer. Well met, sir.
Everyone's as tired as I
It's
am.
my back's not acting up today.
Where to now?
Nice place to sit and watch the wind.
My back's not acting up today. It's my back's not acting up today.
As soon as my shift's done, I'm off.
That looks promising. Any ideas as to how we might reach it?
I can but trust my faith will guide me through.
My curative magics are at your disposal. Wait a moment.
Peruse at your ease.
The heavens must be air valves.
Yes, Master. I shall hasten to your aid.
This isn't much to go on.
At your nail.
I cannot stand to remain here another moment.
All this hustle and bustle puts me right at home.
Not much going on.
Mayhap dreams will reveal to me the heaven. 'Tis here that the bodies of those who fall in Vermund are first kept and tended to. I beg you to conduct yourself with care and with a reverence befitting of one who walks among the dead. An unsettled mind begets an unsettled world. Your patronage is much appreciated.
That I ne'er had cause to draw stick.
One Wakestone shard is a mere rock, but combined they can work miracles.
We ought to keep it with care, lest we lose it.
Must have taken a wrong turn.
Juicy beast steak. I'm dead on my feet. Maybe I'll keep
I get the sense I oughtn't be.
Arms, arms for the poor. Pray grant those less fortunate. Well met, Sir Arisen. Might I trouble you for alms for the poor? Many thanks. May fortune smile upon you, kind sir.
every minute.
The heavens have forsaken us.
My prayers will surely be rewarded in the hereafter. Good day, sir.
It is my duty to devote my life. I must be grateful. To have a full
What kitchens might spell for people's well?
The pursuit of betterment is an endless journey.
This place gives me a thrill.
I need not strive to know the unknowable.
The end.
True faith must come from the spirit, not the mind.
How did I wind up here anyhow?
Was I lacking in devotion?
I've got to get home. I can't stay here. I don't like it here. I want to go home.
Interested in my wares?
Well met. This here's the sanctuary of tipplers and merrymakers alike. I assume you'll be starting off with a mug of the good stuff. Many thanks.
Go on, have a look.
It's been a hard day. Wouldn't do to neglect proper.
Well met. I assume you'll be starting off with a mug of the good stuff. Pleasure doing business.
Interested in my wares? A few hours
To help order my thoughts.
No shortage of easy things.
wish to
I
have
don't
always
feel
night,
safe here.
and I only had to sleep.
If our prayers are not heeded, what hope have we?
My prayers will surely be rewarded in the hereafter.
'Tis my duty.
If our prayers are not heeded, what hope have we?
I must be grateful. Wickedness has no hold on the true.
If
Death
our
comes
prayers
for
are
me
not
next.
heeded, what hope
sure.
have we?
I can't take it anymore.
We have found a material.
I wonder what rumors the Morrow has in store.
What should I do?
I'm aching for a fight. The townspeople depend on me. Wonder if it's too early for dinner.
Would that I never
I've got the sharpest ears in town.
Let's take it easy today.
I just about had my fill of...
Greetings. You seek guidance, do you not? You have lost sight of your path, but I can point the way. You need only make a worthy offering in exchange. 'Tis lovely to see you. Greetings. You need only make a worthy offering. I have seen your path. May these words guide you true. You've my gratitude. 'Tis lovely to see you.
Got to press on. There's much needs doing.
Well met, sir.
Mayhap this ladder is here for a reason.
Ah, excellent find.
You seem well.
Mayhap I ought to ask around town. Hail, friend. Have you a spare moment? I've an eye for people, and my instincts tell me you're of trustworthy ilk. I'm in a bit of a quandary, you see. I'm to be gone for a week, with no one slated to mind the house in my stead. Fear not, I only ask your name to list as a tenant. You needn't bother yourself with the cleaning, and I don't expect you to stay cooped up in there, neither. I'd be much obliged if you'd simply consider my home a waypoint on your travels. Sound appealing? Then come on by and have a look-see. I've taken the liberty of marking the location on your map. You've come. Glad to see you, friend. So, what say you? Would you care to live here in my absence? As I've said, you needn't worry about tending to the place. Many thanks, friend. I knew I could count on you. I'll stop by again in a week's time, but till then, farewell.
We will find much better rest in an abode than out in the elements, methinks. Let us make good use of it while we can.
True enough. Shall we get some rest then?
But not at the expense of my duty.
I'll take the night watch of the desk work any day.
Wonder if there's any easy work to be had.
Ought to set my notes around.
Not sure what to do about that.
In the mood for a song, lads.
Really now?
Would that all my days were so tranquil.
There's got to be something fun to do. Why is this not selling?
Oh dear. I'm falling asleep.
What should I get
I
up
wonder
to?
what's going on.
I don't know.
Best check my stock before a customer comes
Naught
along.
but fry of late.
Well met. You will soon forget the fatigue of a long journey when treated to the foremost hospitality in all Vernworth. Much obliged.
I fear I've no wisdom to offer.
That's catching up today.
Touch.
Trade favors the patient, I always say.
Just yonder looks to be a good spot for harvesting ingredients.
Shall we see if there's aught to be found while we're here?
I've little enough gold to spend as 'tis.
This is where I come when life gets overwhelming.
Now, how best to proceed?
What was I to do today? I must check.
'Tis my job.
There's
I'll collect that. You needn't trouble yourself.
Can't remember the last time I had a proper meal.
A fine place to sit and gather one's thoughts.
An ox cart ought to make our journey easier.
Walking everywhere is certainly tiring.
This ox cart's bound for the checkpoint rest town. I'll not take you anywhere till I've had my due.
I've been on my feet all day. My legs are as lead.
Wish the roads were safer.
What is true peace, I wonder?
Tell is, Vermund was once a bee-strewn kingdom.
Truly?
Indeed, though 'tis not widely known among the common folk.
Off we trot.
It falls on me.
Dear mine.
Aye, out of the car, all of you.
You've been doused in oil! You must stay clear of fire! Well thought of it!
Let us not get ahead of ourselves. The battle continues.
Outstanding! Of heedlessness.
Is anyone able to aid our comrade?
She's weak to fire.
This is generally used as a material.
I'm sure we'll find a purpose for it in due time.
Gather round, gather round. Treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. Entertain you? Nay, even if it shouldn't.
This might be worth a read.
Well met. You are come to... You will soon forget the fatigue of a long journey when treated to the foremost hospitality in... all Vernworth. Much obliged. Peruse at your leisure.
Gather round, gather round. Treat your ears to a tale by...
We must rest, though the... Now we've the vim to tackle the day ahead.
Come. We've much to be getting on with. Ready to forge on?
Lots to do, and precious little time.
An ox cart ought to make our journey easier.
Walking everywhere is certainly tiring.
Turn in for the night.
Tell is, Vermund was once a beastren kingdom.
Truly?
Indeed. Though 'tis not widely known among the common folk.
Goblins, Master!
We have no means of exploiting our enemy's weakness!
Your magics are at your disposal. Wait right there.
We cannot break it from this side.
True enough.
Lots to do, and precious little time.
Hubris is man's worst enemy.
But not at the expense of
Mark your
my
brain.
I should be on top form. I can see it.
That's packing up today.
There's got to be something fun.
Gather round. Treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller.
Aye, got some coin to spare your humble storyteller? Much appreciated.
Come on, have a look.
I am attentive and loyal, and prefer to remain by your side. In battle, tis a pity we must part after sharing such a journey. You can count on me to fly to your aid in your hour of need, Master. Knowing when to use curative. At least I go knowing I fought to the...
Restoration and reinforcement are the purview of a mage. You'll be safe in my care, Arisen. Are you fit to travel? Then let's not dawdle.
I shall be proud to serve you, Arisen.
Tis a pleasure to meet you.
Pray, call upon me again another time.
Take me as your shield, Arisen. Upon my fighter's pride, no foe shall harm you while I yet stand.
Tis a pleasure to meet you. Twill be an honor to serve by your side. A troubling rumor has reached my ears, and methinks I ought to share it.
'Tis said there is an illness spawns can contract beyond the rift that inflicts unspeakable harm on those around them. As it progresses, the pawn gradually loses all self-control, and in time will even cease to heed the Arisen's commands.
Indeed. Well, we shall have to remain watchful, lest one of our company should start showing signs of this sickness.
On to the nearest location. The soldiers delivering freight were last espied near Vermin's eastern edge. That's not far from here.
The guide is most welcome. Now we shan't lose our way.
Ruining my vegetables.
Follow me, if you would.
Methinks this can only be destroyed from the other side.
Nothing else for it, I suppose.
Lots to do, and precious little time.
A moment to replenish my plate.
I've a knack for gathering items, and am ever on the hunt for new finds. I'll gladly try out any useful mechanisms I espy.
How might I serve you, Arisen? Shall I lead you to the location nearest here, Arisen?
Putting that aside, ours is a party of women, by and large.
And yet, no two of us are the same.
If I could, I'd never leave.
My head will roll if force goes awry.
A flock of harpies draws near!
We have no means of exploiting our enemy's weakness.
That was incredible. Never have I encountered such a strategy.
It was not what I expected.
Well done!
That was
Superb, Arisen.
You are wise indeed to have sought my aid.
Over here, if you please. Do not despair! I'm coming to your aid! Go where your help is needed. Whatever 'tis you need, I shall gladly.
Focus. A moment of precision but still ideal. Now I understand.
Master, watch out!
It seems we have enraged our foe.
Might we not use their rage to our advantage?
Understood.
Arisen! Are you alright?
Certainly, Arisen. How might I be of aid?
Tis the simplest strategy our foe most abhors. Knock its feet out from under it, and strike here it recovers.
This battle will demand all our strength. We must stand together and make to see victory.
Enemy slows. Perhaps we have tired them out. We must make the most of this opportunity. Strike fast and true, and our quarry shall fall.
Let us first consider how we might topple our foe. Such behemoths are only mighty in standing.
It is certainly worth a try.
At last. It all becomes clear.
Look out, Arisen! We're under attack!
If we know its weakness, we have but to exploit it.
Not far to go now. Keep your focus. I shall finish this. For the Arisen!
Just yonder looks to be a good spot for harvesting ingredients.
Shall we see if there's aught to be found while we're here?
We've got choppers!
We have no means of exploiting our enemy's weakness.
That was well fought. There's no one standing who might say otherwise.
Overconfidence is an enemy in and of itself. Let us instead strive to better ourselves with every battle.
Tremendous work!
Let us try for the same result with our next attack.
This seems a decent spot for a campsite.
I'm in no need of a rest as yet, Master. Well, we've eaten our fill. What say we settle our stomachs with a few hours' sleep?
Agreed. We ought to give ourselves a chance to recover ere we continue on our journey.
Look there. I espy another statue.
Climbing it would grant a clearer picture of our environs.
I will protect you. I'll gather this. It might be of use. Then I shall remain by your side.
Look there. Methinks its eye ought of use. We ought to take a closer look.
Protect the shipment! Steel yourself! Cut the fiends down! Don't let them touch the shipment!
V! How did this happen? We must defend the cargo! They're a tenacious lot.
Forgive me for being a Persian.
His but a flesh wound, yet enough to shame me.
Stay with me, Olivia. Won't fight back.
Our task is complete.
Splendid.
I thank you for coming to our aid. That was a tight spot you saved us from. And what luck! Nary a scratch on the wares to show for it.
I was sure we were to meet an early end. Fortunate we are that you should find us when you did. My humblest thanks, sir.
We've come to reclaim armaments abandoned. These roads have grown ever more perilous this past half a year. There's even been tell of banditry near the border. If your journey takes you there, you do well to stay on your guard.
Don't trouble yourself, sir. I'll manage.
Our master cuts a gallant figure in the throes of battle, but is no less striking here in the campfire's glow.
Are you certain you're happy to have me along?
One never can have too many of these.
Let us take care when and how we put them to use.
We seem to have arrived without issue. But are we safe here?
There's a ladder here.
Ah, excellent find.
Nothing wrong with filching for survival.
Wouldn't say no to a bit of excitement.
Do stop and have a look. I've wares of them.
That looks promising. Any ideas as to how we might reach it?
Need anything? Stop by again soon.
I do so enjoy stocking up on supplies.
I hope our coin purse isn't too much.
Welcome to Bjorn's, and quality is what you need if you want to survive. So if we... check the price, just remember, misers die early deaths. Many thanks. I appreciate the business.
That's it. I've had enough. Clear off. And don't come back till you're ready to do business properly.
But I've got the coin, I swear it. I simply just...
Where is it then, eh? Bring the coin, all of it, or I'll call the sentinels on you again. Are we clear?
'Tis uncommon for a lad of his age to be unable to shop on his own. Mayhap we ought to lend him a hand, master.
Where are you?
If our destination is a distant one, travel by...
Oh, 'tis you. You're a welcome sight. Forgive my boldness, but I've a small favor to ask of you. Would you be willing to lend me some gold? I swear you'll be repaid in full. A trinket in yon shop caught my eye. A small, ornate box of exceptional craftsmanship. Alas, 'twould seem I do not have the coin on hand to purchase it. I can certainly procure the gold later, but by then, the box might be gone. If you'd be kind enough to lend me the amount I need, I would repay every last coin.
Times are hard. Washes all my troubles clean away, this place.
Isn't there anything to do?
Do stop and have a look. I've wares of every ilk.
Seems my feet always lead me here.
Not sure what they
Can't walk as late as I used to anymore. Well met. You will soon forget the fatigue of a long journey when treated to the foremost hospitality in all the... You know where to find me.
The solution eludes me, but I'm certain there is one.
Life's been pretty kind to me.
Bit bland. Dead on my front throwing.
Lots to do. No
These roots packed up today.
Love waking up knowing anything can happen.
Hail!
Yes? Is there aught I can do for you? Or could it be that you've reconsidered my request? You bought it for me. Thank you. I'll treasure this. You're a kind soul. Pray, let me return the favor someday.
He seems a young man of decent character. I believe his promise to repay your kindness was a genuine one.
Gather round! Treat your ears to a tale by a...
What did you think of that story? 'Twas well told and all, but not particularly exciting, eh? I mean, it's the sort of thing you hear bandied about the tavern every other night, isn't it? I'd heard tell of a beggar doing well for himself, so I came out here to learn his ways. Haven't learned much, that's for sure. And by the look of it, he doesn't appear to be making much for his efforts, neither. So where's all his coin coming from, then? Makes a man wonder, it does.
Gather round! Treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. Aye, got some coin to spare your humble storyteller? Much appreciated. Gather round!
I'd heard tell of a beggar doing well for himself, so I came out here to learn his ways. But it's clear this storytelling's got little to do with his wealth. So where's he get his coin, then? Makes a man wonder, it does. Could be he's involved in something untoward, eh?
This ladder looks sturdy enough to climb.
We ought to put it to good use.
Treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. And should my tale entertain you? Nay, even if it shouldn't, I would greatly appreciate a coin or two to soothe my throat with a mug of ale.
I am honored to be called to your side, Arisen.
Listen close, as today I shall speak of riddles and monsters with frightful mystique. In the north of Vermund is our curious tale staged, where ventured a hero off the page. He delved into a temple of baleful feature, only to be confronted by a four-legged creature. But when our hero drew his blade, unto him a demand was made. And who the asker? Why, the beast! An uncanny affair, to say the least. Yet there was no time for shock and dismay, as, "Answer my riddle," did the fearsome thing say. The trickery was clear. To respond meant certain doom. But in the midst of his answer, he'd doubtless be consumed. So a mighty attack did our hero dispense, to conquer his foe and banish it thence. With a single strike was the towering beast repelled, to quail in fear at the mortal strength it beheld. Such is the legacy of Lord Rosamond, who, needless to say, was the father of House Berkeley, which lives on to this day.
Almost wish all would happen to shake things up.
My head hurts just thinking
Gather
about
round!
it.
Treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. And should my story entertain you, nay, even if it shouldn't, I would greatly appreciate a coin or two to soothe my throat with a mug of ale. Now, listen close, as today I shall tell of a serpent with powers most fell. Our hero ventured into a shrine long enclosed, whereupon he found serpent and soldiers in battle opposed. Though to the soldiers' aid he would fain have leapt, unease overtook him, so behind a pillar he crept. And not a moment too soon, for there came a flash of light, ere the room filled with screams, soldiers wailing at their plight. Then the shrine grew deathly still, and our hero was all alone. For every last soldier had been transformed into stone. Wary of his foe and with presence of mind, the man crept up to the pillar upon which 'twas entwined. Seeing his moment, he unsheathed his blade and brought the pillar.
One day, I'm going to have proper raiment.
Gather round. Treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. And should my story entertain you, nay, even if it shouldn't, I would greatly appreciate a coin or two to soothe my throat with a mug of ale. Now, listen close, as today I shall tell of a serpent with powers most fell. Our hero ventured into a shrine long enclosed, whereupon he found serpent and soldiers in battle opposed. Though to the soldiers' aid he would fain have leapt, unease overtook him, so behind a pillar he crept. And not a moment too soon, for there came a flash of light, ere the room filled with screams, soldiers wailing at their plight. Then the shrine grew deathly still, and our hero was all alone. For every last soldier had been transformed into stone. Wary of his foe, and with presence of mind, the man crept up to the pillar upon which 'twas entwined. Seeing his moment, he unsheathed his blade and brought the pillar low in a thundering cascade. The gloating serpent was caught by surprise, and with a pitiful hiss, 'neath the pillar it writhed. Till mustering swiftly the last of its might, to the depths of the shrine did the monster take flight. Thus with a wit as sharp as his sword was...
There's a ladder here.
Ah, excellent find.
And who was our hero? Why, needless to say, 'twas the father of House Berkeley, which lives on to this day.
Find myself some work today.
Now, who to talk with first? What a pleasant breeze.
Not a care in the world.
Somehow my feet
Just as it
always
should
carry
be.
me here.
I don't tell them half the days I'll set out on my own. I know every place here.
I end up feeling
Gather round! Treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. And should my story entertain you, nay, even if it shouldn't, I would greatly appreciate a coin or two to soothe my throat with a mug of ale. Now, listen close, as today I shall tell of a serpent with powers most fell. Our hero ventured... Aye, got some coin to spare your... Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Gather round. Treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. And should my story entertain you, nay, even if it shouldn't, I would greatly appreciate a coin or two to soothe my throat with a mug of ale. Now, listen close, as today I shall tell of a serpent with power. Much appreciated.
I'd heard tell of a beggar, so where's he get his coin then? Makes a man...
Gather round. Treat your ears to a tale by a... master storyteller. And should my story entertain you, nay, even if it shouldn't, I would greatly appreciate a coin or two to soothe my throat with a mug of ale. Now, listen close, and your focus apply to this tale of a giant who touches the sky. Our hero, oft forgotten by history in spite of his worth, awoke one fell morning to rumbling earth. In a panic he started, out the front door he leapt, to behold what had approached a knight as he slept. 'Twas a mysterious figure, but be it friend or foe, on shaking legs did he approach, the better to know. Yet he did not get near, for afore him stretched the sea. The figure was striding through waters up to the knee. This realization explained the bizarre. What had appeared close was being seen from afar. For truly, the figure was mammoth in size, tall enough to be blinded by the clouds in the skies. One thing was certain, should it walk upon land, no city, no mountain would outlast its hand. So he challenged its ingress with voice loudly drawn, and in an instant the giant was gone. Aye, in the face of his valour the gigantus did pale. But who among you can name the hero of our tale? 'Twas none other than Lord Rosamond, who, needless to say, was the father of House Berkeley, which lives on to this day.
I must remember to
Gather round, treat your ears to a tale by a master story. Much appreciated. Gather round, treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. And should my story entertain you, nay, even if it shouldn't, I would greatly appreciate a coin or two to soothe my throat with a mug of ale. Now, listen close, and your focus apply.
I'm a tad busy at the moment.
Gather round, treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. And should my story entertain you, nay, even if it shouldn't, I would greatly appreciate a coin or two to soothe my throat with a mug of ale. Now, listen close, and your focus apply to this tale of a giant who touches the sky. Our hero, oft forgotten by history in spite of his worth, awoke one fell morning to rumbling earth. In a panic he started, out the front door he leapt, to behold what had approached a knight as he slept. 'Twas a mysterious figure, but be it friend or foe, on shaking legs did he approach, the better to know. Yet he did not get near, for afore him stretched the sea. The figure was striding through waters up to the knee. This realization explained the bizarre. What had appeared close was being seen from afar. For truly, the figure was mammoth in size, tall enough to be blinded by the clouds in the skies. One thing was certain, should it walk upon land, no city, no mountain would outlast its hand. So he challenged its ingress with voice loudly drawn, and in an instant the giant was gone. Aye, in the face of his valour the gigantus did pale. But who among you can name the hero of our tale? 'Twas none other than Lord Rosamond, who, needless to say, was the father of House Berkeley, which lives on to this day. Gather round, treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. And should my story entertain you, nay, even if it shouldn't, I would greatly appreciate a coin or two to soothe my throat with a mug of ale. Now, listen close, and your focus apply to this tale of a giant who touches the sky. Our hero, oft forgotten by history in spite of his worth, awoke one fell morning to rumbling earth. In a panic he started, out the front door he leapt, to behold what had approached a knight as he slept. 'Twas a mysterious figure, but be it friend or foe, on shaking legs did he approach, the better to know. Yet he did not get near, for afore him stretched the sea. The figure was striding through waters up to the knee. This realization explained the bizarre. What had appeared close was being seen from afar. For truly, the figure was mammoth in size, tall enough to be blinded by the clouds in the skies. One thing was certain. Should it walk upon land...
I've just recalled a little tidbit I heard from the locals.
Regarding the Vermundian military, yes?
Indeed. Tell us, there's been a shift in the chain of command.
Aye, in the face of his valour, the gigantus did pale. But who among you can name the hero of our tale? 'Twas none other than Lord Rosamond, who, needless to say, was the father of House Berkeley, which lives on to this day.
This ladder looks sturdy enough to climb.
We ought to put it to good use.
My bed. Draw in as many customers as I can.
What should I get up to today?
It is just another day, same as the one ahead.
At your neck.
I hope to turn in for the night.
I'm in fine fat today.
Roman's joyous voices makes my heart sing.
Lots to do.
Any customers with a decent coin of late.
I'm surrounded by whingers on all sides. May the people find succor in these troubled times. All this quiet makes me itch to cause a stir.
Would that I ne'er had to leave.
What should I do? What should I do?
I don't feel safe here.
I'll collect that. You needn't trouble yourself.
Was I lacking in devotion?
I've just remembered. I've somewhere to be.
What did I do to deserve this as my lot?
There's all watching me. I swear it.
Living's hard, but dreams are free.
How'd I wind up here, anyhow?
It's been a hard day.
Now this is a conundrum.
Sets my thoughts down dark paths, this place.
This place offers a view of the sea.
I imagine we would not escape a plunge into the water's depths.
Rejoice, my darling, for your Albert is returned.
Welcome home, dear.
I spend my days spinning yarns, only to come home to a wife for whose radiance I have no words. If there is a more fortunate fool in the city, I have yet to meet him.
Oh, you bold-faced flatterer.
A fine place to harvest some ingredients.
No harm in picking a few.
Just be sure you mind your manners.
Interested in my wares?
Where's my comb? My fur's in a right...
What would you of me? I'll have no trouble.
have found a material.
I'm sure we'll find a purpose for it in due time.
It's been a hard day.
I ought to have a mouthful.
Ain't nothing but trouble
Dash of
working
salt.
here.
Interested in my wares?
I pity those content to live in idleness.
The things I could do with an
Must have
ox
taken a wrong turn. Go on, have a look.
Mayhap I ought to be getting home.
I wish to astound
Stomach's
and not
complaining.
merely.
I'll have an
See any
early
little
supper.
boy about, enough to make you rich.
Mayhap I ought to be getting home.
Not my kind of place,
Some
this.
meat would be nice, if 'tweren't so costly.
Can't remember the last time my pockets jingled.
Where to now?